Hi guys, this is Max. One of the updates today is February 3rd. Actually, one of the updates, like I was saying, that hits the game is this little button right here. I'm about to tap it right there, Prestige.
It's not prestige, then shut up.
So it says the average base hero rating for our top 5 champions, right? We all knew what that was. We all knew that prestige was a thing in game, but now it's more visible. As you can see, my individual prestige as a member of an alliance is 11,286. Now, what I think about prestige, and I think it's such a great smart move from Kabam, especially when it comes to making revenue in the game. If you weren't already in a competitive alliance, meaning I would say, competitive alliances, I think it's everybody in their own bracket is pretty competitive in their alliance, but I would kind of maybe the top 20 alliances that are in that AQ placement of top 20, I would consider them a little bit more competitive when it comes to AQ or prestige as well. So AQ is what we play every week, and prestige is what we use to get the better rewards every week. So I took a screenshot, and you won't be able to see it, but I want to show you the number 1 alliance last week that took the number 1 spot was this alliance. This alliance is called NY718. So this alliance, now it was a secret between other alliances. They really didn't know that alliance's prestige information. Now that it's public, as you can see that line item from the top, the number it says 11,307. That's the prestige of that specific alliance. So that alliance itself, it's sitting at 11,307. So just to give you an idea, because I can go into my alliance, I should be able to go back, right? Go into my alliance, go to alliance, there we go. And if I wanted just to give you an idea of our prestige, 10,863. So this was a number that was kind of hidden, kind of hush hush, kept to itself, because it was a competitive area of the game that when it comes to the rewards, like you didn't want to share your alliance prestige, because and if someone knew your prestige, they could do some kind of manipulating within the members to do some couple of rank ups to make sure that that group of 30 gets the better rewards next week. So this is why I think it's such a smart business move that I'm surprised they hadn't done it in the past. Is there's a bunch of alliances that are kind of competitive, I would say, and like I mentioned, in the top 20 that drive, not necessarily push. I don't think I've ever been in an alliance that has pushed, kind of like you either improve your prestige or you're out by, deadline of 2 weeks. I have yet to see that, at least me personally. There's rumors about that happening in other alliance, but me, I've yet to see that myself. So, but what I do see happening, though, is I do see members going out and improving their prestige on their own, because now it's a public information when it comes to where you're on. I mean, every week you would end the week and you're like, okay, let's cross our fingers and hope that we placed in the top 20 or in the top 10, or we were in that top 5. So now that prestige is known, you can go in a day or two before actually AQ starts and rank up your champions, do your prestige moves within your 30 members of the alliance, and improve that number so you get better rewards. So this is where these rank up and this cash offer comes into place. Sometimes you're lacking rank up material. Sometimes you have the champion, you're lucky enough that you have that champion that has the top prestige. You have them pretty high level, or you can take them to a high signature level, hopefully 200. But all you're lacking is some T2 alpha or some T5 basics. So now these offers hit the store, or not just this specific offer, but any other offer that comes around, and you can get the items necessary to rank up that champion. and ultimately help the other 29 members of your alliance. So here, just taking a look, you have members. So and I want to be very careful of what I say here when it comes to members in alliance, because not everybody, even though you're in one of those top competitive alliances, like I mentioned, I'd say the top 20 alliances out there, I would consider competitive, especially when it comes to prestige. You're part of those 20 alliances, you're somewhat competitive, or you're part of a group that's competitive in the prestige race.
So that's against the rules, and you can't sit with us. Whatever. Those rules aren't real. They were real that day I wore a vest, because that vest was disgusting. You can't sit with us!
Now, do you find yourself feeling obligated to do a rank up that because let's actually take a look. Because I was just kind of glancing through the number one alliance currently in prestige, and I ran across this account. So do you find yourself ranking up champions that you wouldn't have ideally, because you're part of a group of other 29 other members that are focused around prestige? Or do you see other members in your alliance doing these kind of rank ups, like a Thor rank 3, knowing that the option of rank 3 is very limited, but he or she does it to help the entire alliance prestige? Like, do you find yourself doing stuff like this now that prestige is more of a public information? It moves so many things and it has so many little moving parts when it comes to prestige. It's such a crazy thing, and like I was mentioning, I'm surprised that Kabam didn't do it earlier, because now it drives those members that weren't really focused on prestige and placed, let's say, at the bottom of the list of prestige, to do certain rank ups or certain purchases that maybe they weren't gonna do now that this number, the prestige of the alliance, is more of a public information now. And this not necessarily like everybody's doing this, but it's I'm saying it because let's say you're in that placement, and I'm just gonna use the top 20. You're in that 22nd spot, and you look up the last week, okay, who was the number 20 alliance, and you find yourself that you're just a few points apart from them. You almost go and talk to the members that are not the highest in prestige and say, hey, can you guys kind of step it up a bit? All we need is we didn't realize we were so close in prestige to getting the better rewards. If you did that rank up, everybody benefits. So now let's take that and look at the top 10. So if the alliance that was number 11, so let me I took a couple of screenshots here. So last week, there's this Hispanic alliance, it's called Leyendas. They were number 11. So let's take a look at that alliance. And this is why I think it's such a smart move from Kabam when it comes to making the game more profitable, squeezing a little bit more cash out of the members of the game that play this game. So this alliance took number 11 spot last week. Now their current prestige is 10,808. Was that the same prestige last week as opposed to this week? I'm not sure, because we didn't have that information. But number 10 spot was taken by New Nation. So 10,808, right? Let's go to New Nation. $10,807. So this, I didn't even make this my point, but 10,807 New Nation, if all goes well, meaning everybody, when it comes to the alliances of 1 through 9, don't mess up and everything goes exactly like it happened last week, this alliance just lost by 1 point their rank. So that means that previous alliance that you saw took the number 10th spot. Now, before AQ started, do you think that that conversation was had and said, hey guys, we're on the verge of getting the top 10? And I'm talking about these guys, this group of 30 members here, right here. Now, I don't know if this is the case when it comes to all the, other alliances, but the conversation was had within this alliance saying, hey, now that there's information public, we know that the number 10 spot alliance, which was New Nation, their prestige was this number, our prestige is this number. We're 2-3 points away from them. They actually beat us by just 1 or 2 rank ups. Now you kind of have the other 20, the other members of the alliance doing certain rank ups that maybe they didn't want to. They were waiting on using those resources, or maybe they went out and bought. This is why I was talking about these offers. Bought these resources, spent cash on the game to be able to rank up those champions to increase their individual prestige, to overall increase the alliance prestige. So that's why I think this move by Kabam is kind of smart when it comes to making more money. Prestige and the AQ races, prestige races they call it, it's one of the income revenues of the game, because anytime there's a new champion that comes out, any like, let's just go to my champion base here. Let's say there's a new 5-star champion that comes out, and that 5-star champion happen to have the top prestige. Now you know that all the top alliances are shooting or going for that champion, whether it be through crystals or through arena. So that, either both areas of the game, arena or crystals, you're kind of spending some cash, not necessarily all the time, but you're spending some cash, especially if you don't have the units to refresh an arena, or if you just don't have the units at all to buy the crystals, you're loading your account with units. So both ways, you're putting cash into the game to get that exclusive champion, to be able to rank 5 him, to get him to level signature 200. Now the game currently sits in a situation, and this is only in the top, again, the top alliances when it comes to prestige, in a very tough situation, in a very cash focused situation when it comes to prestige. You could have grinded days and nights to get these 5-star champions, the top prestige champions, and your prestige is still lacking when it comes to the alliance and your alliance members, because of the cash offers when it comes to the rank up materials for 6 stars, and because of the Abyss. Now that the Abyss is released, you have, like we saw earlier, members out there in the game, in the community, that have multiple rank 3 6 stars. So let's just take a glimpse at this member here. He's got the little badge that he's completed the Abyss. So he's sitting at 2 rank 3 6 stars. Now, does he have the option for 3 rank 3 6 stars? He does, because he was able to open 3 crystals that gave him resources for 3 rank ups. It's just that he hasn't done it. Maybe he's lacking the champions. So that's the downside about the prestige race, that you have to get lucky through the crystals, especially around the 6-star champions. You have to be able. So let's look at his alliance team member. This profile here, this person, guy or girl, has 3 rank 3 6 stars. So they were very fortunate to pull Silver Surfer, to pull this second champion here, which is Spider-Man Stealth, and take them both to rank 3. The Mr. Fantastic, which I wish I had. He's such a cool chap. As a 6-star, he was able to take him rank 3 and 180 levels in signatures levels of that champion. So his prestige, as you can see here on the top right, 12,944. So the game is currently, yes, rewarding the guys and girls that spent cash on the game when it comes to getting the champions, because there's no other way to be able to get these champions, at least right now as we sit here today in February of 2020, to get these champions through regular means of grinding out arenas or opening basic 6-star crystals. The Silver Surfer and Mr. Fantastic are only found on the crystals that you purchase, and you have to buy a lot of them to be able to pull them once and be able to awaken him and get him at a high level. So yes, the game is rewarding those members and players that spend cash on the game, which in a way it should, and I don't want to say that not everybody, like, let's take a look at this alliance, right? NY718. I'm just focusing on them because they are number one currently in the prestige race. But usually the case is this: you go all the way to the bottom, and it's not usually, and this is not always, the hero rating, the amount of champions you get, it's not determining factor of prestige. But obviously the higher the hero base rating, the typical bigger the account is. So this, unless they've sold champions, but okay, I don't want to go too far into it, but this account, if you look at it, he's sitting with a Doctor Doom, a Thor, and a Phoenix. Yes, one of the top prestige champions, and he could have gotten these champions through basic crystals and arena grinding, and he could be a free-to-play player, meaning a player that doesn't spend at all cash on the game, and you can kind of see the results of doing that. And it's not that he's lacking or he's an unskilled player. He just, it's just the progression of his account and his prestige is not there compared to someone that spends cash on the game. So as you can see, I can see by his title, he's got the Abyss starter pack. So he's gone in there, he's gone into the Abyss. So he must be a skilled player and gone in there and completed one path. But he's gotten that unfortunate luck that he possibly didn't get the items, the rank up materials, to be able to rank up a champion that he or she has as a 6-star awaken, with the possibility of taking that champion to a high level, the next rank, so rank 2 or rank 3. This is what's happening right now. So this is why I think it's such a smart move, business move, when it comes to the cash, spending cash on the game. You're gonna have alliances competing more because that information is now public. You're gonna have members within those alliances going out and trying to improve their prestige through means of cash, maybe buying more crystals or maybe buying those rank up materials that they were lacking, because now they know that, hey, I am the guy or girl at the bottom and all I need was this rank up, and the offer was there and I could have bought this cash offer, or I could have bought that. See, the unfortunate thing is when it comes to the champions, you can't buy a champion for cash. Like, you still gamble the odds of being able to pull a crystal. So I'll share here with you, I wanted to get this champion, and I'm still gonna try to shoot to get this champion one more time before she goes away from this crystal. And I've tried and I couldn't get it. No matter, you can spend thousands and thousands of dollars, and I think you probably will get the champion, but there's a certain limit that you're gonna be like, you know what, that's my limit. I spent $50 and that's my limit, or I spent $300 and that's my limit when it comes. And if I didn't get it within the 50 or 100 or 200 or $300, that's my limit. But you're gonna have members within the alliance going out there and trying to get a 6-star champion. And if they're not, it's not that they're bad members, they're bad players. It's just that we're in this weird little area. I would call it a gray area, if you will, where the game is transitioning to the 6-stars, and the only players that are able to get the 6-stars are the ones that are spending, or buying these crystals, going in there and completing toughest parts of the game. Now, to do that, you don't need cash to do it. You can grind your way up into the units and resources to go out there and do it kind of for free, in a way, when it comes to like you actually spending the cash to load your account with those items and units. But the progression is going to be very slow. It's going to be a lot slower than someone that has the cash to do so. So hopefully, I don't know if this makes any sense when it comes to the prestige and kind of my point of view of it, but I ultimately here just to give you the cliff notes at the end. It's a smart move by Kabam when it comes to growing the income. source of the game, because again, just like as we saw earlier, those two alliances, the 10th spot alliance and the 11th spot alliance, there's a difference in rewards from being, you know, that top 20 alliance or that top 10 alliance, you know. And again, just the nature of this game is to be competitive, have fun, but, you know, be competitive as well, especially if you're a group of those top 20 competitive alliances. You want the better rewards. You want to be able to have fun with the champions and have the resources to rank up those champions. So yeah, what are your thoughts? Are you thinking that, you know, especially if you hate the prestige, you're like, you know, I'm not spending money, I don't care about prestige, keep your prestige? Or are you all about, hey, you know what, I know I got to spend a couple of bucks in the game to kind of increase my prestige, and I enjoy myself doing that? So are you on that side? Or are you on the side that, like, oh man, now that it's shown, you know, the prestige of the alliance is shown, you know, I wasn't spending as much money, but now I'm feeling like I need to keep up, and now, you know, I need to make sure my prestige stays high enough because I want my alliance members to, you know, get the better rewards. Are you in that situation? You know, it makes it for an interesting conversation to have going back and forth when it comes to prestige. I think it's again, it's a good, smart move, business move, to drive more cash. And we'll see how everybody plays it. You know, it's only time will tell in the next couple of weeks. We'll see how many alliances, how that top 10 shifts, you know, from the, you know, 8, 9, 10, as more people complete the Abyss. Will they get the resources to rank up the 6-star champions? Will we see more people trying to buy more champions through the crystals? Because that's kind of the only way to get the higher prestige champions, unless they get added to the basic crystal, because that's kind of what I'm thinking of doing right now, waiting for the champion to get added here, and then risk the fact of me not getting them. So yeah, let's see what are the thoughts of the top players out there. I know they more likely won't come across my video, but it'll be interesting to know, because those are my kind of thoughts about the game. It's a smart move by Kabam. Pushes more when it comes to the cash into the game, builds the revenue, keeps the game going for a longer time. I know the free-to-play players are not at the benefit at the moment, just currently at the moment right now. Now they will have their chance eventually, you know, once the 6 stars come into the arena and Kabam hopefully does some kind of arena and some kind of easier access for the free-to-play players to get the 6 stars, because right now that's where it's at. The 6 stars, the prestige, the damage, the way they function, just the 6 stars is the focus right now at the moment. So the free-to-play players, or the players that don't spend much in the game, are the ones that are going to kind of fall behind, and I don't want them to fall too far behind, because then we lose a big chunk of the community. So I don't want that to happen. But you know, definitely reward the ones that spend the cash in the game, maybe for a few weeks, but then balance it out. So, which is, I think Kabam has always done somewhat of a good job at doing that. You know, keep the guys and girls spending the cash happy, but then don't lose the other portion of the player base that don't spend money in the game but enjoy the game and log in every day to cash in the rewards for, you know, the free rewards, and just play the game and even become very skilled at the game, because they don't use the cash to push through the content, but figure out ways on how to do it with skill. So hopefully we see those balances as well come across when it comes to the 6 stars. But yeah, this is exciting. I'm excited to see the prestige of the top alliances, of the top members out there, knowing that prestige is possible, and that it gives me a target to shoot at, of course, when it comes to the prestige. So now I can go ahead and target one of my fellow alliance members and say, hey buddy, what's your prestige? 11,671. Okay. I'm shooting for you, you know. So that's all fun and games as well. So, but yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Sorry for this long-winded video when it comes to prestige, but as we can see, we have, you know, some targets ahead of us, so we'll see how we do. Thanks guys, thanks for watching.